No question, Norway are going to be the Cinderella story of this World Cup. I'm expecting Erling Haaland to be top scorer for Norway, and of course, Odegaard will be part of supplying him. This episode of My Bracket is presented by Michelob Ultra. In the round of 32, Germany against Paraguay. For me, this is pretty much a straightforward one. Germany will be way too strong for a basic average Paraguay side, and it'll be a comfortable victory for the Germans. France against Iran. Surprise, surprise, I'm going to go with France. For me, one of the favourites in this tournament. Iran, with so much going on out with of soccer, I don't think they'll put up much of a threat. And so, quite clearly, there's only one winner here, and that, of course, is France. Up next, South Korea versus Canada. South Korea, no question, organised, ultra-professional, against a Canada side that you really aren't quite sure what you're going to get. Depending on what day of the week it is, sometimes they are great, sometimes they're fantastic, sometimes they're rubbish. So I'm going to go with the organised and the professional South Koreans. Next up, Netherlands-Morocco. Netherlands relying on the old guard, the Van Dijks, the De Jongs. I just think Morocco will have certainly too much in the legs, and of course, having won AFCON, will be on a high. I think, unfortunately, the Dutch will have an early exit. Colombia versus England. This will be a tough test for the English. Colombians, yes, talented, but boy, are they physically strong. But of course, England should be used to that. Of course, Harry Kane up front will be scoring goals for me as normal, and eventually will wear down the Colombians in terms of keeping the ball, that's for sure. And ultimately, knock the Colombians out, and I think England absolutely will go through in this tie. Spain against Austria. I just don't see how the Austrians can hold the Spanish. So much talent. Of course, Lamine Yamal, as we all hope, will be fit. They will be too strong, not just with Lamine Yamal, but all round the field. And Austria, well, they'll have done well to get to this stage. So I think this is a comfortable win for Spain. Tough one to call this, Turkey and Bosnia. Again, Bosnia fall into the bracket of, wow, we've gotten through the group stages. Yes, they knocked Italy out in the qualifying, but it was a pretty poor Italy side. Turkey just will be too strong. And so I think, again, well done Bosnia getting this far, but Turkey is going to move on to the next round. Next up, Egypt against Ecuador. I'm going to have to side with my Liverpool mate, Mo Salah. No question for me. This will probably be his last World Cup, and Egypt, particularly in the African tournaments, always, certainly they haven't won it, but they go the distance for sure. So I'm going to pick Egypt over Ecuador. And the other side of my bracket, Brazil against Japan. Again, I don't think anybody would be surprised that I'm going to go with Brazil. Ancelotti, at the very least, will have them more organised than they normally are. Japan ultimately won't have enough against a Brazil side who have the individual talent to see off anybody. Ivory Coast against Norway. I think the obvious one would be to go for Ivory Coast, but I'm not doing that. I'm going for Norway. This Norway side to me is just getting better and better. Absolutely cruised through the qualifying, smashing Italy away from home. This is a talented team, and I think they will have too much talent for the Ivory Coast. No surprise, I'm expecting Erling Haaland to be top scorer for Norway, and of course Odegaard, as the season's going on, is getting better and better, and no doubt he will be supplying Haaland. So I think Norway will be the surprise of this tournament, and they will knock out Ivory Coast. Mexico against Senegal. Mexico obviously at home, and most would say that that's a real advantage. However, when things are not going quite your way, having a big crowd not with you, but against you, can absolutely frighten the life out of you. I believe that's what's going to happen in this game. I think Senegal, too much experience, too much quality. Sadio Mane, with his last appearance at a World Cup, in my opinion, will absolutely be all out to shut that crowd up and turn them against their own team. Ghana, Algeria. This really is a tough one to call. There's not an awful lot between these two sides. Like most sides in this tournament by this stage, everybody knows what they're supposed to be doing. Everybody knows their roles. Everybody should know what they're about. And these two sides will not be any different. So for me, it's really going to come down to one player, one bit of magic. And for me, that man will be Algerian, and it will be Mahrez. Again, another player who's probably playing his last World Cup. And if there is one player in that Algerian side who, when it counts, when it is able to turn on the magic, this is the player. And so it's basically Mahrez 1, Ghana 0. Argentina-Uruguay, big South American clash. This will be tight, this will be touches, this will not be an open attacking game. You can be sure that the Uruguayans will not be letting us, a particular guy called Messi, get on the ball and have any time with it. It will be stop-start, plenty of fouls, maybe even red cards. This is just a grudge match, big time. However, I think Argentina just has the edge on individual talent, and that is going to be the difference. Could it be Messi? Yes, but it also could be other players, including Enzo Fernandez, who obviously has struggled at Chelsea, but in an Argentina jersey, that doesn't seem to happen. So Argentina go through, USA at home to Belgium. Again, USA at home, everybody thinking that crowd's going to be behind them. However, it will need more than a crowd for them to beat Belgium. It's hard not to look at the friendly they had, 8 months before this World Cup kicks off, without thinking about how they were totally outplayed by a Belgian side that actually had the majority of their starters missing. So, big crowd or not, home advantage or not, I find it difficult to see how the US can overcome this Belgian side. And unfortunately for the US, this is as far as it goes for them. I think Belgium wins this one. Switzerland-Sweden. The Swiss have shown that regardless of the opposition, they can play their game and turn the opposition's game similar to their own. They don't give much away. They're composed, again, organised, and they're playing against a Swedish side that really is a Cinderella story. That this team didn't qualify through normal routes, somehow got a chance in a playoff, and somehow managed to get themselves to a World Cup. And the fact that they go through the group stages will be a surprise to everybody. But you know what? I think of Denmark many moons ago in the old European Championships, who never qualified for that, somehow got in because of the conflict in Yugoslavia and ended up winning the tournament. Now, Sweden's not going to win this tournament, but guess what? They're going to go through. Last but not least, in this side of the bracket, we've got Portugal against Croatia. If ever there was a side that you could see were past their best, you have to say it's Croatia. Yes, they have some quality. Yes, they have some good players. And yes, when it comes to the big game, they turn up. But they're playing against a Portugal side who is as talented as anybody else in this World Cup in terms of individuals. Of course, again, another player hitting the milestone of probably it will be his last World Cup in Ronaldo. So, yeah, this Portugal side will outplay, outrun, outthink, you name it, for this Croatia side. Round of 16, what a game to kick off. Germany against France. I've already said I think France are one of the favourites for this title. And so that means Germany, as good as they possibly could be, I just don't think they're going to be good enough for the French. Florian Wirtz, who absolutely is a different player in a Germany jersey other than a Liverpool one, will not be good enough to knock the French out. I think this is a comfortable win for the French. South Korea, Morocco. I've already said South Korea, organised, professional. That's not going to be enough for the AFCON champions in Morocco. And I see this as a comfortable victory for the Moroccans, and they will move on. Another barnstormer in the round of 16, we got England against Spain. Two teams that clearly will be favourites for certain supporters. But unfortunately for England, this is going to be the demise of their World Cup effort. Spain, in my opinion, too dynamic in the front end of the field, too calculated in the middle of the park. And so I believe that they will see off the English, who actually, in terms of their superstars, I don't think they will be at their best. So yes, unfortunately for England, it's an earlier exit than they think. Spain will move on. Turkey against Egypt. Turkey will be strong, but Egypt, again, a team that has so much experience on the big occasion, particularly at AFCON tournaments, do go far. And I believe, again, with Mo Salah probably at the top of the spear, will go far again in this one. Egypt wins. Fine favourite Brazil against the surprise package Norway. Brazil, with all their individual talent, I'm sure Ancelotti will have them somewhat organised, but you know the way Ancelotti works, he likes to give his players a bit of freedom. Against a Norwegian side who really are going to fly through this tournament. And I believe they have the match winner to win this particular game in Erling Haaland. No question, Odegaard will be part of supplying them. And as I said, this is going to be a shock. No question, the surprise package, Norway, will outdo everybody's second team Brazil. Senegal versus Algeria. A big AFCON clash here. Senegal, I just feel, are going to have too much experience. Again, my man Mane is a man that's going to turn that on. Senegal goes through. Next up, Argentina-Belgium. Argentina, in my opinion, not quite as sharp, not quite as strong as they were when winning the World Cup last time out. But they will be too sharp and too strong for a Belgian side who are good, but again, are in my opinion past their best. They will put up a fight against Argentina, but Argentina, too many good individuals and too strong all around. Sweden against Portugal. Sweden, incredible that they've gotten this far considering, as I said, they never qualify for this tournament in the normal way. Portugal will be far too strong. And yes, no question, until now, Ronaldo will be scoring goals. So, I'm sorry for Sweden, they are not going anywhere close to this Portuguese side, who will just be way too strong for them. What a quarter-final matchup. France against AFCON champions Morocco. I believe this is probably going to be the best game of the tournament so far. I think it will be open. The French, as we know, absolutely solid throughout, but really do have talent everywhere. No question, Mbappe at the forefront of it. Alistair, who's been absolute dynamite for Bayern Munich this season. He will show exactly why he is now a world-class superstar. Morocco, yes, AFCON champions, but they're just not going to be strong enough to hold this France side, who will be physically too strong for them. And as I said, talent-wise, almost unmatched in this tournament. Spain against Egypt. Egypt, not a surprise getting this far, but in my opinion, this is about as far as they will get. Spain, again, Lamine Yamal, in my opinion, will probably be one of the stars of this tournament. They will not be able to hold him. Mo Salah on the other side of the field will be doing his bit for Egypt, but it just will not be good enough. Spain, I think, comfortably will march on. Norway against Senegal. No question, Norway are going to be the Cinderella story of this World Cup, and in my opinion, will comfortably take care of Senegal. Senegal, in my opinion, will have run out of steam. They are an experienced side, but when you get this deep in a tournament, you do need legs as well as talent. And Norway, in my opinion, will have more of that than the Senegalese. So good luck to Senegal, but Norway march on to the semi-final. Big time game, Argentina-Portugal. Messi against Ronaldo. Is this going to be the last time these two players step on a field as opponents? I believe it will be. And I believe on this occasion, Messi is going to be the man who comes out on top. And Messi is going to be the man who dictates this game. He will be the goal scorer. He will be the playmaker. And he will make Ronaldo finish off his last World Cup as defeated in the quarter-final stages. Huge clash in the first semi-final. France against Spain. How do you pick a winner out of these two? Well, I'm going to pick France. As good as Spain are, as great as keeping the ball, possessing the ball, as great as they are as creating, as great as Lamine Yamal will be in this tournament, the strength, the character, the talent, the organisation of the French, and of course Mbappe right at the top of all that, is just going to be, unfortunately, too much for the Spanish side. Second semi-final. Cinderella story of Norway getting to this stage. Incredible. Against the wily old, experienced Argentina and Lionel Messi. Unfortunately for the Norwegians, Argentina and Messi will move on to another final. Third place playoffs. Spain against Norway. Well, in this one, I think the Norwegians will be drained. They'll have put so much in to get into the semi-final. They'll have nothing left. And the Spanish, although they'll make changes, will play some nice, silky soccer, passing the ball around, creating chances, and this will be too much for the Norwegians. I think this third place win will be a comfortable one for the Spanish. Now we come to the final, a rerun of the last World Cup final. Unfortunately for Argentina, it isn't going to turn out the way they wanted, and certainly the way they got it last time out. France, no question wanting revenge, will do every single thing to squash this Argentina side and Messi. I believe they will be too strong, they'll be too motivated, and on the day, they will be too good. This is France's, in my opinion, they will be the new World Cup winners. This episode of My Bracket is presented by Michelob Ultra. Go to www.michelobultra.com/summerofsoccer and participate for a chance to win group stage tickets.